Annual reports, they're either on their corporate websites. You can go to SECgov, okay, www.sec.gov. As you might expect, it's a government website, so the user interface is horrible. It'll take you probably 10 times longer to find it, but it's got the as submitted to the SEC versions.
I've got a good tip on that actually. If you just Google search Edgar, SEC, that's EDGAR, SEC, I see that that's been making a lot. It gives you right to if you want to easily. Just type the company name and go.
Why don't you say it again louder?
EDGAR, SEC. Just do that in Google, you'll find Edgar, SEC, and they're much easier to use.
All right, so another good place to find information, trade associations. So almost for every single industry, there is a trade association. And that's a great place to get data about your market. Let's say you're interested in, for instance, solar energy. So I did a little Google search. I just said Solar Trade Association, and the first hit was the Solar Energy Industries Association. Established in 1974, SEIA works to expand the use of solar technology, strengthen research and development, remove market barriers, improve education and outreach for solar. What these trade associations do is they get all the companies that are involved in this particular area, in this case solar, and say, hey, pay us an annual due of whatever, 10,000, whatever, it's 100,000, whatever it is, depends on how big the industry is. And then we'll do lobbying for your industry. We'll really kind of help educate the consumers in the world and the government and all about why they want to embrace your technology. So the great thing about that, one of the things that almost all these trade associations do is they provide really useful market information. So if you come over on the solar one, let's see. So if you click about solar energy, you have to hunt around for a little bit, but I didn't see anything here that says industry statistics. But if I click on about solar energy, and then it has a section called industry data. Oh, that's great. Okay, industry data. I'll click on that, and you can see that it has statistics about how many megawatts of installed solar power in the U.S., where the U.S. market ranks. It's got a PDF report on solar energy in the U.S. It ranks countries in terms of new capacity additions of solar, total capacity, manufacturing. It has a lot of good data. And in fact, there's another section here, how do I start a solar business? And they have all kinds of links to information, tax incentives, and so on. Some other examples of trade associations. Say you're interested in the airline industry. I don't know if you you saw Southwest did it, JetBlue did it, then Virgin. You want to start a new airline industry. There's a trade association. Probably not a great time. Well, that's probably good, but so there's an International Air Transport Association, and if you look around on here, there's something called Economics and Intelligence and Statistics. So. Let's click on Intelligence and Statistics, and okay, it has all kinds of things. It has 2007 traffic results, for instance. So you can get all kinds of data as to how many people flew premium economy from different routes from different continents, and they have things on like reports on on-time statistics. All kinds of airline market research, all kinds. I won't show them now because I want to breeze through some of this. But again, trade associations. The last one I'll show you is Video Games Entertainment Software Association. This is a trade association for video game companies, and they have a section called Industry Facts. And if you click on Industry Facts, again, it has all kinds of information about typical demographics. Average age of most frequent game purchasers 40 years old. It says demographic information in addition to sales information, economic data, sales and genre data. What are the most popular genres? All that kind of stuff. So trade associations, also a great place to look. Newspapers and periodicals. Those are also very. Oh, actually, one last thing on trade associations. Google has this little directory listing of all kinds of trade associations. Yeah,
I've noticed in my industry, which is nutritional, most of the trade associations, you have to pay $1,000 to get industry information.
Right.
Is there another way around?
Well, so then the next thing that leads to the next one. So what you then want to try to find are articles in the public domain, whether it was in the New York Times or whatever else that's indexed on Google or LexisNexis or somewhere that did a little summary of those reports. Okay. Ideally, you'd like to get to the actual report because you'd rather trust the real report than somebody's interpretation of the report. And even the report itself, you know, depending on the source, you got to be a little bit you know, careful sometimes. But so let me show you. So if you're, how many people here are affiliated with the University of Maryland? Everybody. Okay, good. So every single one of you has access to this. It's a virtual business information center. There are 2 ways of getting in here. You can also go through the research port. They're essentially the same thing, but this is a huge, long URL that's difficult to remember. So don't bother with that one. Just remember vbic.umd.edu, Virtual Business Information Center. Okay, they point to the same databases. This is like a joint project out of the Smith School and some other people, but there's some great information here. If you click on, you can go through different ways. It's sort of redundant. You can go through marketing or through industry, but let's say we want to get some industry information on click market share. Let's say we want to get market share in certain things. So IBIS World is really good. I'll show you that in just a sec. Another one is Mintel. In fact, I have both those up. I'll show you. So IBIS World has all these industries, reports for all these different kinds of industries, ranging from agriculture, forestry, mining, utilities. I'm just sticking with solar for a second. Let me just say we wanted to find out more about renewable energy. So they have one here on hydroelectric and renewable power generation. Okay. I've actually picked this one because this one's actually not as, the other reports like on cell phones are actually much more comprehensive. There's just a lot more being written about it. It's followed much more closely. This is an okay report, but it gives a little summary of the industry, and things to look at are, for instance, market characteristics, and what's up? All right, so it has a bit about market size. You know, how big is this market? Revenue about 18.7 billion. How much it's grown recently. A little bit of a summary, and then under segmentation. I thought was pretty interesting. Under segmentation, it showed different kinds of renewable energy in the U.S. 71% of it is hydroelectric, 10% is wood-fired, and so on. But solar is pretty minuscule right now. So ideally, you could hopefully find another report somewhere in here that's more focused on solar. But it's got some good industry data. Again, statistics, how big the industry is, who the major players are, who the major customer segments are. By region, demographics. These are really valuable reports. These are reports that typically you would have to pay a lot of money for, but if you're affiliated with the University of Maryland, you get access to all these databases for free. I'll show you one more on Mintel. Okay, so Mintel is another one. They have reports on beauty and personal, drink, food and food service, health and well-being, household lifestyles. So on technology was pretty useful, I thought. So I'll just show, for instance, social networking. They had one on social networking. That's a pretty popular area right now. In fact, it's right here. It's the most recent one. But they have all kinds of things: mobile phones, televisions, satellite radio, MP3 players, Wi-Fi. I mean, reports on everything. Okay. Actually, social networking, the connectivity in the digital age. I think that was it's a newer one. And again, they'll break down, you know, who the major players are. Actually, view table. This Mintel, I think, is a little bit better, although they don't have reports on as many industries. But you'll see from this first page on tables that they just have a ton of data. Okay, so market drivers. This is number of people, how they access social networking. How often whether they did it from the mobile phone or mobile phone only site, demographics, leading companies, unique users per day on these sites, global rank and traffic. I mean, you'll start to see this is pretty comprehensive. This has pretty much, if you didn't know anything about social networking before, if you go through this, you'll know very, very well. And along with the numbers, it's not just the numbers, they have some very good discussions of what these numbers mean, what the trends mean, who the market leaders are, and so on. In fact, I didn't start with it, but a good place to start would have been the executive summary.